Hello everyone, welcome to Testport India. So this is the first class of quantitative aptitude. So we will begin with percentages, okay, and then we will move on to some other arithmetic topics, okay. So percentages is a super important concept as far as quant is concerned. Okay, so lots and lots of questions, lots and lots of concepts are derived from percentages. Okay, their roots are from percentages. So percentages is like a backbone. Take arithmetic, take data interpretation. Percentages is a must do topic. So you must have a very good command in percentages if you want to do really well in quant section and in DI section, right? So let's get started. So let me just brief you about the definition. I hope lots of you already are aware of percentages, but let me tell you one thing. So whenever you tell that you scored, let's say 80%, okay, 80% in an exam, what does this mean? That means for every 100 marks you scored 80 marks, right? So percentage means percent means for cent means 100, so for every 100, okay. So percent means you are comparing a number with 100. For every 100 you are comparing that. In this case 80%, so for 80 is being compared with 100, so that's the meaning of percentage, right? So we shall look into how to convert a fraction into percentage, ratio and decimal into percentage, and vice versa, right? So how to convert a fraction into percentage? Take any fraction. Let us take 1 by 2. Okay. So this is a fraction. 1 by 2 is a fraction. To be precise, 1 by 2 is a proper fraction, right? Proper fraction. Why? Why? Because the numerator is less than the denominator, right? So 1 by 2 is a fraction. So to convert 1 by 2 into percentage, what should we do? We must multiply it with 100. So what is the result? We get 50%. So we converted fraction into percentage. Ratio into percentage. Okay, so let us take the same example. 1 by 2 can be expressed as 1 is to 2 in ratio form. Okay, in ratio we can express 1 by 2 as 1 is to 2. So how to convert 1 is to 2 into percentage? 1 is to 2 means 1 by 2 again, and multiply it with 100. We get 50%, right? So we converted ratio into percentage. Now decimal into percentage. Take any decimal. Let's take 0 0.5. 0 0.5 is a decimal, right? So 0 0.5, how can we convert into percentage? Just multiply 0 0.5, any decimal with 100. We get here, what do we get? 50%, right? We converted decimal into percentage. So how to convert percentage into fraction? Take a percentage. Let's take 20%. So what does 20% mean? 20 by 100. So just remember this. If you are removing this percentage symbol, then you must add 100 to the denominator. Okay. Okay. So 20% means 20 by 100, which is equal to 1 by 5. So you converted percentage into fraction. Okay. So conversion of percentage into ratio. Take some other percentage. Let's take 25%. Okay. 25% means 25 by 100. So 25 by 100 means 1 by 4. 1 by 4 means 1 is to 4. So you converted percentage into into ratio, right? So percentage into decimal. Take any percentage. Let's take the same example here. Okay, 25%. 25% means 25 by 100. Okay, so 25 by 100. How to convert this one into decimal? 0.25. See, after this decimal, we have two digits. Why? Because we have two zeros in the denominator, right? We have two zeros in the denominator. So let's go to the next slide. Fraction and percentage equivalent. Okay, so this is one by one. The percentage equivalent of 1 by 1 is 100. How did we get 100? So 1 by 1 is multiplied with 100. So in the previous slide I told you, right, to convert fraction into percentage, we must multiply that fraction into with 100, right? With 100 we must multiply that fraction. So these all fractions are multiplied with 100. That's why we got the percentage equivalents of these respective fractions. Okay. So for cat, learning from 1 by 1 to 1 by 20 is important, super important for faster calculations. Even though you have calculator in cat, please try not to use that. Okay, try not to use that. You have to calculate in your brain. Okay, and you shouldn't even take 3 to 5 seconds at least to convert this, to convert either percentage equivalent into fraction or fraction into percentage. You shouldn't take even 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, so in that way you must memorize all this at least from 1 by 1 to 1 by 20. Okay, please go through this table and you must learn them. Fine. So let's solve some basic questions. So what do you do is just pause the video and try to solve them. After that, if you are unable to solve, then you can resume the video and view the solution. Okay, just pause the video. Okay, hope you solved this. So find the number of girls if there are 35% boys in a school and the total number of students in the school is 1000. So here what is given? Total students are 1000. Out of 1000, 35% are boys. So out of 1000, if 35% are boys, we can say how many are boys? We can directly say 350 boys. But how did we arrive this 350? Arrive to this 350? 35 by 100. 35% means 35 by 100. Out 35% of 1000, right? So we got 350 as boys, number of boys. But what's the question here? Find the number of girls. So if 350 are boys, then how many are girls? Out of 1000, if 350 are boys, then remaining 650 will be girls, right? So this is what we are asked to find out, right? So 350 are boys and 650 are girls. Fine. So next question. A shopkeeper announces a reduction of 8.33% on all its prices after Diwali festival. If a fan was earlier for 2400, how much would it cost now? Okay. So earlier price of the fan was 2400. Okay, earlier price was 2400, but now there is some discount, there is some reduction in price. How much? 8.33%. 8.33% reduction, 8.33% of 2400. This is the reduction. So what is the fraction equivalent of 8.33%? So in the previous slide, if you remember, we discussed fraction equivalents and percentages. Okay, so 8.33% means 1 by 12. 1 by 12. 1 by 12 is equal to 8.33%. So 2400 minus 1 by 12 of 2400, which is equal to 1 by 12 here. 1 by 12 of 2400, which is equal to 200. So 2400 minus 200 discount, that is equal to 2200. So the final price after this discount, 8.33% discount of the fan, okay, is 2200. This is the final price, right? So 8.33% is equal to 1 by 12. 1 by 12, 1 by 12 means 200 in this case. Fine. Okay, let's move on to the next question. 2/3 of 3/5 of 1/8 of a certain number is 268.50 rupees. Okay, okay, may not be rupees. Okay, 268.50. What is 30% of the number? Okay, so two third means 2 by 3. Of means into 2/3 of 3/5. 3/5 means 3 by 5. Of into 1/8 of a certain number. We do not know that number, so let us assume that number to be x. Okay, that number is x, which is equal to 268.50. Okay, 268.50. So what is the question here? We must find 30% of the number. So we must find 30% of x. 30% of x. So let us calculate x first. After that we will find out 30% of x. So x is equal to, just solve it. X is equal to 268.50 into 3 into 5 into 8 by 2 into 3 into 1. Okay, so x will be equal to 5370. Okay, so x is equal to 5370, but we must find 30% of x. So here we will calculate what is 30% of x. 30 by 100 into 5370. Okay, 30 by 100 into 5370. So just cancel. After calculation, you will get 1611 as answer. Okay, 1611 is 30% of 5370, right? So let's move on to the next slide. Is by of rule. Okay, is by of rule. So before knowing this, we will solve one problem so that you can understand the concept in a better way. So what percent of 120 is 360? What's the meaning of this? What percent of 120 is 360? 360 by 120 into 100. Okay, and we will get, after cancellation, we will get 300%. Okay, so this is the meaning, but most of the aspirants, most of the students, what they do is they get confused which one to place in the numerator, which value to place in the denominator. So for that, they may even write like this: 120 by 360 into 100, which is wrong. For this question it is wrong. So how to avoid this confusion? Okay, so here what is following is 360 follows is. So here is in the numerator, right? So let me write it: is by, of, or than rule. Okay, than rule. So is in the numerator, so whatever number follows is will be in the numerator, and of is in the denominator, so whatever number, okay, follows of will be in the denominator. Just remember like this. Okay, and calculate the percentage, you will get it. Okay, so second example: 25 is what percent of 500? 25 is what percent of 500? So here 500 follows of, so it will be in the denominator. Is near 500. Okay, is beside 500. Okay, so 25 will be in the numerator. Fine. So into 100, as we are asked to calculate the percentage, so value is 5%. Okay, so A is what percent of B? So B should be in the denominator, as B follows of. Okay, so A is near is. Okay, A is near is, so A will be in the numerator into 100. Okay, so A is what percent more than B? A is more than B, right? A is more than B, but what percent more than B? So in this case we must calculate, take the difference between A and B, and here see, observe here, B follows than, B doesn't follow off. Okay, so even though B doesn't follow off, if it follows than, whatever entity follows than, that must be in the denominator. See here, you observe of or than. Okay, So whether of or than, that must be in the denominator. So a minus b by b into 100 in this case. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Percentage increase and decrease, which is known as percentage change. Okay, so what is percentage change? Whenever we have two values, okay, let's consider this example. Harshit's salary, Harshit's salary, okay, Harshit's salary in the year 2000, 2001 and 2002 are 50,000, 80,000 and 60,000 respectively. So what did you understand from this statement, from the given statement? What did you understand? Harshit's salary got increased from 2000 to 2001. Why? In 2000, the salary of Harshit was 50,000. In 2002, the salary of Harshit is 80,000. So it got increased, right? Okay. But if we compare 2001 and 2002, the salary got decreased. Why? From 80,000 to 60,000. It got decreased by 30,000. Sorry, 20,000. From 2000 to 2001, it got increased by 30,000, whereas from 2001 to 2002, it got decreased by 20,000. Okay, in terms of money, in terms of monetary values, we are expressing like 20,000, 30,000. But how can we express that in terms of percentage, right? So for that we have to know how to calculate the percentage change, right? So if we consider 2000 and 2001 years, okay, year 2000 and 2001. So in 2000 the salary was 50,000, okay, and in 2001 the salary was 80,000. So calculate percentage change. See, percentage change can be either increase or decrease. That's not a problem. Percentage change, in this case, it is increase, okay. But percentage change, how to calculate? The difference in two values, okay, the difference by the initial value into 100. This is the percentage change. So here what is the difference between two values? 80,000, okay, 80,000 minus 50,000 by initial value. What is the initial value? Which one comes first, 2000 or 2001? The year 2000 comes first, right? So take this one, take this value, 50,000. This is the initial value, initial salary, first salary. So difference by initial value into 100. So calculate 80,000 by 50,000 by 50,000, which is equal to 30,000 by 50,000 into 100, which is equal to 60%. Okay, 60% increase, right? It has got increased from 50,000 to 80,000. So 60% increase, right? So as far as money value is concerned, it got increased by 30,000 rupees. 30,000 rupees. 30,000 rupees means 60% in this case. Okay. Let us consider this one. Let us compare 2001 and 2002. Calculate the percentage change. Okay. So in 2001, what is his salary? 2001, it's 80,000. Okay, in 2002 it was 60,000. Okay, so what's the percentage change? Take the difference, 80,000 minus 60,000, which is 20,000. 20,000 by 20,000 by initial value. Which one comes first, 2001 or 2002? Year 2001, right? So take this value, 80,000 into 100. Okay, difference by initial value into 100. What is the change, percentage change? It's 25%. So calculate this, zeros, all cancel all the zeros and calculate. You will get 25% decrease, not increase. 25% decrease in the salary. Okay, so if we name it in monetary values, it is 80,000 and 60,000, it's 20,000 reduction. 20,000 reduction in salary. 20,000 reduction means 25% reduction. So percentage change versus percentage point change. In the last slide we discussed about percentage change, but what is meant by percentage point change? Percentage point change. So percentage point change means nothing but it's the absolute difference between two percentage changes. Let us consider this example, you will understand in a better way. So last year Rahul's salary was 10,000. Okay, let me change this color first. Okay, last year Rahul's salary was 10,000, Anjali's salary was 8,000. This year Rahul's salary is 12,000 while Anjali's salary is 10,000. Okay, so what is the percentage increase of Rahul's salary? Percentage increase of Rahul's salary. So if you consider last year Rahul's salary was 10,000 rupees and this year Rahul's salary is 12,000 rupees. Okay, 12,000. So we need to find the difference. This is the last year's salary, this is the this year's current salary. So to calculate the percentage increase, that is percentage change, okay, percentage change, we must calculate the difference, right? If you remember the formula is difference by initial value into 100, right? So calculate the difference 12,000 minus 10,000, which is equal to 2,000. So 2,000 by initial value. What was the initial salary, initial value of Rahul? 10,000. 2,000 by 10,000 into 100, that is equal to 2 by 10, that is equal to 1 by 5, which is equal to 20%. Okay, 20%. What is the percentage increase of Anjali's salary? Anjali's salary, previous year's salary was 8,000, current year's salary is 10,000. Okay, what is the percentage change of Anjali's salary? It's 10,000 minus 8,000, which is 2,000 by initial value. Initial value is 8,000 into 100. Okay, so 2,000 by 8,000 into 100, which is equal to 25%. It is the percentage increase, right? In Rahul's case it is 20%, in Anjali's case it is 25%, the percentage change. So what is the percentage point change? Percentage point change in the salary of Anjali and Rahul. As I told you, percentage point change is nothing but absolute difference between two percentage changes. Okay, two percentage changes. So here what is the first percentage change? 25%. Second change is 20%. So the difference 25% minus 20%, which is equal to 5% point change. 5% point change between Rahul and Anjali. Okay, Rahul and Anjali. This is the percentage point change. Okay, percentage point change means the absolute difference between two percentage changes, right? Okay, if a value is increased by n by d, then to get back the same number from the resultant value, we have to decrease the increased value by n by d plus n. Okay, so we shall take this example. Akhil has 66% more books than Amit. Amit has how many percent, how much percent of books lesser than Akhil? Okay, so we will take here Akhil, we will consider Amit here. Okay, here Amit, here Akhil. So Akhil has 66.66% more books than Amit. Okay, more books than Amit. So what is the percentage equivalent of 66.66? 66.66 is equal to 2 by 3 fraction. So the fraction equivalent of 66.6 is 66 is equal to 2 by 3. But our question is, how much percent of books lesser than Akhil? So Amit has how much percent of books lesser than Akhil? So here we have, if the value is increased by n by d, here what is n by d? 2 by 3 is n by d. Then to get back to the same number, we have to decrease the increased value by n by d plus n. So n by d now it should become n by d plus n. So 2 by 3 must be equal to, must become 2 by 3 plus 2, which is equal to 2 by 5. Okay, so 2 by 5, to convert 2 by 5 into percentage, we have to multiply it with 100, right? To any fraction, in order to convert any fraction into percentage, we must multiply it with 100. So 2 by 5 into 100, which is equal to 40%, right? So Akhil has 66.66% more books than Amit. Amit has 40% lesser books than Akhil. Okay, 40% lesser books means 2 by 5 fraction, 2 by 5 lesser books than Akhil. Okay, so here 2 by 3, here 2 by 5, 2 by 5, we just 2 by 5 convert, it is converted into percentage, right? So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, on the contrary, if a value is decreased by n by d, then to get back to the original number, we have to increase the decreased value by n by d minus n. So let's take the same example. If we remember Akhil, we will take Akhil here. Okay, we will consider Amit here, and here Akhil. So how many books Amit has? How many books lesser than Akhil? 40% books lesser than Akhil. So I'm putting minus here, lesser than Akhil. So Akhil has how many books greater than more than Amit? How many books more than Amit? So 40%, what is the fraction equivalent of 40%? Minus 2 by 5. See, minus, why I put minus here? Because minus indicates reduction. Okay, Amit has 40% lesser books than Akhil, right? So that's why lesser, that indicates, that refers to minus. Okay, so Akhil has how many books, how much percent of books more than Akhil, more than Amit? So here we can see, if a value is decreased by n by d, so this is decreased by n by d. N by d means 2 by 5. N by d here refers to 2 by 5. Then to get back to the original value, we have to increase the decreased value by n by d minus n. So 2 by 5 must become 2 by 5 minus 2, which is equal to 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is nothing but, to change 2 by 3 into percentage, we must multiply it with 100. So 2 by 3 into 100, which is equal to 66.66%. So Akhil has 66.66% more books than Amit, right? So here 2 by 5 became 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is nothing but 66.66%. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so just pause the video and try to solve the question. If you are unable, then you can resume the video. So the income of B is 50% greater than the income of A. The income of C is 20% less than the income of B. Sorry, here this is not age, this is income. This is income. Okay. So by how much percent the income of C is greater than the income of A. Okay. So let us take here A, here B, here C. Let us assume the income of A to be 100. Okay. In percentages, in percentages, just remember this funda, in percentages, as far as possible, okay, consider any value, for any value consider 100 to be the base, okay, so that you can solve problems quickly, you can calculate quickly, okay. So A 100, okay, let's assume the salary income of A to be 100. So here what is given, income of B is 50% greater than income of A. That means 100 becomes 150 because income of B is 50% more than A. So 100 plus 50% of 100, which is equal to 100 plus 50% of 100 means 50. So 150. But income of C is 20% less than income of B. So income of B is 150. So 20% less of 150 means deduct 20% from 150. So 150 into 20 by 100, which is equal to 30. So 150 minus 30, which is equal to 120. Okay, so income of C is 120. But what's the question? The question is how much percent, by how much percent the income of C is greater than the income of A. So income of C is 120, income of A is here 100. So what's the difference here? Difference is 20 by what's the initial in the sense to which to whom we are comparing, of A. So here of is there, as I told you in the previous slides, is by of rule. So whatever value, whatever entity follows of, that will be in the denominator. So A's value must be in the denominator into 100, which is equal to 20% increase. Okay, by how much percent the income of C is greater than income of A? By 20%. Let's move on to the next slide. So successive increase and decrease. Successive increase and decrease. Let us consider A here, B here and C. Okay. So if we say that A, the value of A is increased by 20% and now the value of A became B, and B's value increased by 30% and the new value is C. Okay, so this is we followed two steps here. From A to B is first step, B to C is first step, another step. So it's a two-step process. But what if I want to increase directly from A to C? By how much percent? By what percent I must increase so that A will be C directly? How much percent? Here the first step we took is 20%, second step we took is 30%. But how much percent we can make the direct way to calculate directly from A to C? So will this percent be greater than 20% plus 30%, or this percent be lesser than 20% plus 30%? This value will definitely be greater than 20% plus 30%. Why? Let's see how. We will solve it, we will prove it, and then we will get back to this. So as I told you in the previous slide, in percentages, take any example, as far as possible consider 100 to be the base value. Don't take percentage, the decimal value. Take 100 because calculation will definitely become much more easy. Okay, so A became B after increasing by 20%. That means 100 plus 20, which is 120. Okay, 120 by 100 into B became C by increasing 30%. 30% means 30% increase. So we must add it. Add to 100. 100 plus 30, which is equal to 130 by 100 of A. Okay. This is of A, right? So from A to C. Okay. The of A, which is equal to, just calculate how much we get. Just calculate now. We get 1.2 into 1.3, which is equal to 1.56. 1.56 of A. Now just subtract 1 from this. We get 0.56. So to convert this decimal into percentage, we must multiply it with 100. So 0.56 into 100, which is equal to 56%. Okay. So to convert, to directly change A to C, I must increase A's value by 56%. Okay. This value is 56%. See, I told you, right? This value will definitely be more than, greater than 20% plus 30%. If we literally calculate this value, 20 plus 30, which is 50%. 50%. But this is 56%. So this is greater than these values. So if we want to directly increase, that percentage will be greater than this step by step percentages, combined percentages. Okay. But what if there are more than 2 steps? So in the previous slide we discussed about only 2 steps, that is from A to B and from B to C. This is step 1, this is step 2. But if we have more than 2 steps, let's say 3 steps, how to calculate? See, we can use the same method, nothing to worry about it. Let us assume from A to B, from A it has got increased by 20% and B got increased by 30% and C got increased by 40%. Okay. So to directly increase from A to D, of course this value is greater than these all 3 values combined, but how much percent? How much percent it will be greater than all the 3 values combined? We shall calculate the same method. We shall follow the same method, which is from A to B it is increased by 20%. 20% increase means we have to add that percentage to 100. 100 plus 20, which is equal to 120 by 100 into 30% increase. So 100 plus 30, which is equal to 130 by 100. 40% increase, so it is 40, 140. 100 plus 40, which is 140 by 100 of A. So what do we get here? 1.2 into 1.3 into 1.4 into A of A. See, 1.2, how did we arrive at 1.2? Just cancel this. 12 by 10, which is 1.2, right? So cancel this, we will get this value. So if we multiply this, what will be the answer? 2.184. okay, 2.184. so just deduct 1 from it, deduct 1 from it. What do we get? We get 1.184. okay, 1.184. so in order to change this one into percentage, okay, if we want to change this one into percentage, this decimal into percentage, what do we get? 1.184 into 100. We must multiply it with 100 and we get 118.4%. okay. So in order to directly increase from from A to D, we must increase A by 118.4%, which is equal to all these 3 steps, 3 percentages combined, 20, 30, 40, 40, which is 40, 70, 90, 90, right? All these 3 percentages combined. So 118.4% is greater than 90%. okay. So this step, this type This way it can be followed anywhere as far as percentages are concerned. Let's move on to the next slide. Successive increase or decrease. Does order matter? Does order matter? So we consider two cases in order to understand this. Case 1 and case 2. Okay. So case 1, A, we have A is increased by 20% and it became B, and B is increased by 30%. Okay. See, all the time I am not writing this percentage increase value. Assume this is increasing every time. B increased to C by 30% and C increased to D by 40% and D increased by 50% and it became E. Whereas in case 2, A increased by 50% to B and B increased by 40% and became C, and C increased by 30% and became D, and D increased by 20% and became E dash. Fine. So what did you observe? Here the pattern is 20, 30, 40 and 50. This is the order. Whereas in this, everything became altered. Okay. Everything is altered here. 50 became from D to E it's 50, but here from A to B it's 50, and 40 came here, 30 came here, and 20 came here. So everything is, the order got reversed. Okay. My question to you is whether the values E and E dash, whether these values will be same or equal. Will they be equal or won't they be equal? This is my question. Just think about it. Here we percentage, we ended with 50%. Here we started with 50% and ended with 20%. Okay, we will prove it, but in the meanwhile, just think about it. Will the values of E and E dash be equal or won't they be equal? Okay, we will prove it now. Let's consider this. So let's assume A to be 100. Okay. Now A is increased by 20%, right? So A is increased by 20%. So A becomes 120. So 120 is increased by 30%. Okay. Then the value becomes 156. So 156 becomes increased by 40%. Now the value becomes how much? How much is the value? 218.4. Now 218.4 got increased by 50%. What is the value of E? 327.6. Okay, 327.6. This is the value of E. Let us consider case 2. Let us assume the same value, okay, for A, which is 100. 100 got increased by 50%. That means it becomes 150. So 150 got increased by 40%. That means it becomes 240. Okay. So 150 becomes 210, and here 110 is increased by 30%, which becomes 273, and 273 is increased by 20%. What's the final value here? final value is 327.6. Just calculate. See, what did you observe? E is 327.6 and E dash is also 327.6, right? So E and E dash are equal. So no matter how you juggle these percentages, the values remain constant. The values remain constant. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay. Which one do you choose among the following if your boss offers you three types of salary appraisals? The first one is one time 30% increase. The second one is two back to back 15% increases and three back to back 10% increases. Which one do you choose if your boss offers you this type of appraisal, these three types? Okay, which one do you choose among these three? Just think about it, pause the video and think. So if we consider the first type, okay, one time 30% increase. So let us assume your salary to be 100 now, okay. One time 30% increase means your final salary will be 130, okay. You will get 130 rupees. Here in case 2, if your salary is 100, now it's increased to 15%, right? 15%. Now the value becomes 115. Your salary becomes 115. Again, two back to back 15, right? So again, this is the first 15, this is the second 15% increase. Now 15% of 115, not 100, 15% of 115. Now the final value becomes how much? Just calculate. 115% of 115. So 15% of 115 is equal to 132.25. So in the first case you got 130 rupees, in second case you got 132.25 rupees, and in third case how much you will get? The first the initial amount is 100, 10% increase, that means 110 rupees, and again 10% increase, which will be equal to 121 rupees, and then 10% increase because three back to back increases, right? So first, second and third, so 121 becomes 133.1 rupees, okay, 133.1. so which one is the greatest among these three? Here 130, 132 and 133. So you will choose this type of appraisal 133.1, because what is the rule here? When the sum of the percentage increases is constant. See here, percentage increases, the sum is constant, right? Here 30%, here back to back 15%. 215 means 15 plus 15, which is equal to 30. So 3 back to back 10, 3 tens means 30. So sum is equal, that's not a issue here, but percentage increases is constant, okay. The case with greater number of increases will have a greater increase. Here what is the greater number of increase? Here the 3 is greater, right? Here 1 is, here only 1 increase, here 2 increases, here 3 increases. So this is the greater number of increases. So in this case the appraisal, the final result will be the highest than others, okay. So let's move on to the next one. See, these are just to make you understand the concept in a better way, okay. So if a shopkeeper offers you three types of discounts, which one do you choose to maximize the discount? So one is 30% discount, two is back to back 15% discounts, three back to back 10% discounts. So when you approached a shopkeeper, so when you want to purchase an item, a product, so he offered you these three types of discounts. Okay, so I am giving these three types of discounts. So which one do you choose? Whatever you choose, I will proceed with that discount. So which one, in that case, which one do you choose among these three? Let us take, initially the product was 100 rupees. Okay, so 30% discount means 30% reduction, which is you will get 70 rupees. Okay, you will get that product for 70 rupees, right? In second case, 100 rupees. Okay, 100 rupees means 15% discount, initial discount, so you will get some other value. Okay, so from this again 15% discount of this value, so the final value becomes 72.25%, 25 rupees. Okay, so here three back to back discounts, so 100 becomes if 10% is reduced, it becomes 90, again 10% is reduced. Okay, now it becomes 81, again 10% is reduced, now it becomes 72.90. Okay, so which one do you choose? Will you pay 70 rupees or 72 rupees, or will you pay 72.25 rupees or 72.90 rupees? You will choose, you will pay 70 rupees, right? So what is the rule here? When the sum of percentage decreases is constant, the case with the least number of decreases will have a greatest decrease. So sum is constant here because 30, 2 15s, 3 10s, all these three become 30 only. Okay, sum is constant, but the case with the least number of decreases will have greatest increase. Which one has least number of decreases? Here 3, here 2, here 1. So 1 is least, right? So it has got it offers you, this case offers you the highest possible reduction, highest possible discount in the price of the product. Okay, so next we will move on to the next slide. Concept of product constancy. So what is product constancy? Here we have this entity A, this entity B, and we have one more value here. Okay, so product constancy means if anything happens to A, if let's say if A is increased, B must be decreased in order to make C as constant. So we shouldn't make any changes. C must be as it is. Okay, so if A is increased, B must be decreased. If A is decreased, then B must be increased, so that C will be same as it is, as it was previously. Let's take this example so that you will understand. If the rate of a pen is rupees 1.25, okay, the rate is 1.25, okay, then we can purchase 16 pens by paying rupees 60. Okay, if the rate of the pen is decreased by 0.25 rupees, then how many pens can we purchase with 20 rupees? Fine. So here rate is rate into number of pens. Okay, number of pens, that means rate into quantity is equal to price. So here what is the rate? In the initial case 1.25 into how many pens did you purchase? 16 pens. Okay, what is the price you are spending? You spent 20 rupees. So you the price of each pen is 1.25, the rate of each pen is 1.25, and you purchase 16 rupees, 16 pens by spending 20 rupees. But in second case, this 1.25 got reduced by 0.25 rupees, so the final price became 1 rupee. 1 rupee into, here what did they ask? We are asked to find out how many pens can we purchase in this case. Okay, in this case if you spend 20 rupees as it is, but it is reduced. So let us assume the number of pens that we can purchase to be x. So x is equal to just 20 by 1, which is equal to 20. So we can purchase 20 pens here, 20 pens here. So what happened? You observe the rate got decreased. However, the number of pens, this number got increased. So this rate got decreased, the number, this quantity got increased, this value 20 and 20 remain same. Okay, these are constant. 20 is constant. Why 20 is constant? Because this one is decreased, this one is increased, so it got balanced. So in order to get balanced, the juggling and everything must be in this side. The other side will be constant. So in order to make other side as constant, everything must be done in this. Okay, if this is decreased, this will be increased. This is increased, this will be decreased, right? So let's move on. The price of salt is increased by 25%, then how much a percent should a customer reduce the consumption of salt so that he has not to increase his expenses on salt? Okay, so I told you, right, in percentages, take as far as possible, consider 100 to be the base value. Okay, anything, if you consider, if you take any percent, it can be increase or decrease, your base value must be 100. If it is increase, I mean, let's say if it's 20% increase, then you will be calculating as 100 plus 20, which will be equal to 120. If it is decrease, suppose it's 80% decrease, then you will subtract that with 100 minus 80, which is equal to 20%. Okay, but the reference point must be 100. Okay, so let's proceed to this question. The price of salt is increased by 25%, right? So initially it was 100, let us assume the price to be 100 initially, but it increased by 25%. So 100 increases by 25%, so 100 plus 25, which is equal to 125. Now what is the question? How much percent should a customer reduce the consumption of salt so that he has not to increase his expenses on salt? So what's the difference here? 125 minus 100, 25 by, we are comparing that with 125, right? 125 into 100. So just calculate 25 5s are 5 ones 25 20s are, so 20% in decrease. Okay, so if a customer reduces the consumption of salt by 20%, he shouldn't there is no need to increase the price, increase the expenses on salt, right? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. The length of a plot is decreased by 33.33%. By how much percent the breadth of the plot will be increased so that the area remains constant? Okay, so here what happened was, the initial, let us assume the initial length of the plot to be 100. So it got decreased by 33.33%. It got decreased by 33.33%, and now it becomes 100 minus 33.33, which is equal to 66.67. Okay, so calculate the difference. 100 minus 66.67, which is equal to 33.33 by this value. We are comparing that with this value, right? So 66.67 into 100. So the final value is almost equal to 50%. 49 point something, 49.86 or something like that. So it's approximately equal to 50%. Okay, just calculate, do the calculation. Let's move on to the next slide. Yes, by versus to, there is a clear difference between by and to. What is the difference? If we consider this statement, the salary is reduced by 30%. Reduced by 30% means, if we assume the initial salary to be 100, it got reduced by 30%. So 100 minus 30, the final salary is 70 rupees, 70. Okay, 70%. But the salary is reduced 2 reduced to 30%, that means from 100 it became 30%, right? From 100% it became 30%. So the final salary is 30%, not 70%. So it reduced to 30% means from whatever the initial value, from that it became that value directly. If it is reduced by 30% means, or some other value, we have to decrease, we have to deduct that percentage from the initial value. Did you observe the difference? In the first case we have 70% as the new salary, but in the second case we have 30% as the new salary. Okay, yeah. So in an election between two candidates, the candidate with who got 57% valid votes won by a majority of 420 votes. Find the total number of valid votes. Okay, so initially, okay, so the winner got how many votes? 57% votes. So the loser got how many votes? 43% votes, right? So if a winner gets 57, the loser gets 100 minus 57. 100 minus 57% votes. That is equal to 43% votes. So what's the difference here? 14%, right? 57 minus 43, which is equal to 14%. What is given in the question? The winner who got, the candidate who got 57 valid votes, 57% valid votes, won by a majority of 420 votes. Won by a majority of 420 votes means 420 votes extra. He got 420 extra more votes than the loser. So 420 is the difference. 420 is the votes difference between the winner and loser. Here what is the percentage difference? 57 minus 43, 14%. So 14% is the difference. 14% is 420 votes. How much is 100%? 100%. Why 100%? We are asked to find out the total number of votes. So 14% is 420. What is 100%? Calculate. 420 into 100 by 14. Okay, how do you calculate this? Just cross multiply 420 into 100 by 14. It is equal to, just calculate, 3000. Okay, so 3000 are the total votes. Fine. Out of this 3000, 57% votes got were cast for the winner, and remaining 43% were to the loser. Okay. Due to fall in manpower, the production in an industry decreases by 60%. By what percent should the working hours be increased to restore the original production in the factory? Okay, so let us assume the initial one to be 100. Okay, initial one to be 100. Now what happened? Initial production to be 100. Now the production in that industry decreases by 60%. So 100 got decreased by 60%. So 100 minus 60. So decrease means we have to subtract. So 100 minus 60 becomes 40. So the current value is 40. So what's the difference? 100 minus 40, which is 60, by, we are comparing with 40 now. So let's keep that in denominator, into 100. What is the value here? Just calculate. The value becomes 150%. 2 2s are 2 5s are 2 30s are 30 into 5, which is equal to 150%. So 150%, by 150%, the manpower must be increased. The working hours must be increased to restore the original production in that factory. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, chain type models. I will explain you why these type of models, these type of questions are called chain type. So we will look into this question now. A shopkeeper had n chocolates initially. A customer bought 10% chocolates from N, then another customer bought 20% of the remaining chocolates. After that, one more customer purchased 25% of the remaining chocolates. Finally, shopkeeper is left with 270 chocolates in his shop. How many chocolates were there initially in his shop? Okay. So these type of models, see what happened. A shopkeeper had n chocolates initially, but a customer purchased 10% of these chocolates. Okay, 10% of these chocolates, and the final value became 90 here, 90%. And then from this 90%, he purchased, and one more customer purchased, and one more customer purchased from this. So this is like a chain type, right? So because of this, these models, these questions are regarded as chain type questions. So what is the approach here? Let us assume the initial number of chocolates to be n. Okay, final number of chocolates, final chocolates are given, the final number is 270. So the final value is equal to initial value into the first one, the remaining one. A customer bought 10% chocolates, so 10% chocolates he purchased. So the what is the remaining value? 100 minus 10, which is 90 by 100, into the second customer bought 20% chocolates of the remaining chocolates, so 100 minus 20, which is 80 by 100. Why 100 minus 20? We are not calculating this 20, we are calculating the remaining value. So remaining is, if 100, if we deduct 20 from 100, the remaining value will be 80, right? So 80 by 100. And one more customer purchased 25%. That means what's the remaining value? Remaining value is 100 minus 25, which is equal to 75 by 100, right? So why are we taking the remaining values? Why? Because we consider remaining value in the left hand side, in the other side. So as we take this remaining value on the other side, okay, we have to take the remaining values on the other side also. Okay, this side we are taking remaining values, so we should also take remaining values on the other side, right? So we must calculate n is equal to 270 into 100 into 100 into 100 by 90 into 80 into 75. Calculate n will be equal to 500. Okay, calculate this, you will get 500. So initial number of chocolates were 500, and the final number of chocolates are 270. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Ajay gives 10% of his salary to his wife, 10% of the remaining for a donation again, and again 10% of the remaining to COVID-19 relief fund. Okay, so this is somewhat related to the current situation. Now he has only 7,290 with him. So what was the initial sum of money with that person? Okay, we have the amount, the remaining amount. Okay, the remaining amount is 7,290. So calculate the same method, use the same method to calculate. So remaining amount we have 7,290, which is equal to, let us assume the initial amount to be n into 10% he spent, so the remaining is 100 minus 10, which is equal to 90 by 100. Again he spent 10%, so 100 minus 10, which is equal to 90 by 100. Again he spent 10%, so the remaining is 90 by 10. 100 minus 10 is 90 by 100. So calculate n will be equal to 7290 into 100 into 100 into 100 by 90 into 90 into 90. Okay, so the remaining value will be equal to, just calculate, and you will get 10,000 as the initial amount. Fine, yeah. So the next slide, population based problems. Population based problems. So in this case we have two types, case 1 and case 2. Case 1, the population is given, present population is given. In case 2 also present population is given, not to worry about it. But in case 1 we are asked to find out the population in future. We are asked to find the population of a certain area, a certain city or a country, okay, in future. That means after 2 years what will be the population, after 5 years or 6 years, like that. For that, this is the formula to calculate. Okay, this is the formula to calculate present population into first rate by 100 into second rate by 100. Okay, we will get back to this formula, we will apply this formula. Generally I am very much I'm not like, I mean, I don't love to calculate anything, to solve any problem by using formula. Okay, so as far as possible don't use formula and shortcuts. Okay, go through concept based. Okay, we will solve in a much quicker way if we understand the whole concept. Okay, if we understand the whole concept we will solve in a much quicker way. So we will get back to this formula after solving some after starting some questions. So in case 2 we are asked to find out the population of past, not future. Like what was the population before 2 years, before 5 years, before 6 years, like that. So please remember this. I will get back to this formula, to the application of this formula. So we'll solve this, so you will get a clear idea how to solve this population based problems. So if we consider if the annual increase in the population be 20%, okay, annual increase is 20%. So what must be our calculation? 100 plus 20, it will be 120. And the present population be 10,000. I told you, right? If you consider case 1 and case 2, and in any case the present population will be given, the present population will be given as present population is given. In this case the present population is 10,000. So what will be the population after 3 years hence? So after 3 years means the population of the future. So present population into 20% increase. 20% increase means 100 plus 20. 100 plus 20 means 120. 120 by 100. So how many, for how many years? For 3 years, right? So 120 by 100 into 120 by 100 into 120 by 100. If we were asked to find out for 4 years, then we would consider one more year, one more value, but here only 3 years. So we must take only for 3 years, only consider 3 cases. Okay, this is the first year, this is for second year, this is for third year, and this is the present population. So calculate this, cancel all the zeros and calculate. You will get the population after 3 years as 17,280. So this is the population after 3 years with 20% increase every year. Okay, so let's move on to the next problem, next population based problem. The population of a town in the first year increases by 10%, in the second year it decreases by 10%, once again in the third year it increases by 10%, and in the fourth year it decreases by 10%. If the present population be 20,000, then the population after 4 years will be, okay, so what happened? The present population is given, so 20,000 is the present population into what is the rate here? Rate is 10%, 10% rate. So 10% increase, not decrease. 10% increase means we must add it. So 100 plus 10, which is equal to 110 by 100. But in the second year it got decreased by 10%. So we must subtract 100 minus 10, which is equal to 90 by 100 into, once again in third year it increases by 10%. So 100 plus 10, 110 by 100. In fourth year it decreases by 10%. So 100 minus 10, which is equal to 90 by 100. Okay, so calculate this. we will get, how much do we get? We get after 4 years. See, why we took 4, but because we have to calculate for 4 years, right? So this is the first year, this is for second year, this is for third year, and this is for fourth year. So calculate how much we get. We get 19,602 as the population after 4 years. Okay. Yeah. The population of a town increases by 12% during first year and decreases by 10% during the second year. If the present population is 50,400, this is not rupees, sorry, this is not rupees, 50,400, what it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago means 2 years before. This is the population. We need to find the population of the past, not present, not future. Okay, so in this case also we will take the present population. Present population is equal to, as per the formula, we must take the present population as to be on the one side, any one of the sides. So 50,400 is equal to, let us assume the population of the past to be x. Okay, into, in first year it got increased by 12%, so 100 plus 12, which is equal to 112 by 100, into in the second year it got decreased by 10%, so 100 minus 10, which is equal to 90 by 100. So calculate x. X will be equal to 50,400 into 100 into 100 by 112 into 90, which will be equal to 50,000. Okay, so 50,000 was the population before 2 years. Fine. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so whenever we have two entities, the first one is x% and the second one is y%. So when we are asked to find the percentage change, okay, what we must do is we must take the we must consider percent and y%. So in order to calculate the percentage change, let us see how. Okay, we will see it. Okay, if we say that x% is positive, y% is also positive, then percentage change will be plus x plus y plus xy by 100. If we say x% is positive and y is negative, then it will be plus x minus y minus xy by 100. If we take x% as negative and y as positive, then it will be minus x plus y minus xy by 100. And if we consider both x and y as negative, then it will be minus x minus y plus xy by 100. So here observe this, the value of x, okay, will be the same value. Okay, so here x is plus, here y is plus, so it will be plus and plus, here plus, here minus, so it will be plus and minus, here minus, here plus, so it will be minus and plus here. That's not a problem. But if the two values are positive, then here this will be also positive. Either if and also if the two values are negative, this will be positive. If any one of these two values, and if any one of the values of x and y are negative, then this will be negative. Okay, We will apply this formula in the upcoming problems. So on decreasing the price of a color TV by 30%, its sales got increased by 20%. Find the percentage increase or decrease. Okay, so here what is X percent? X percent is 30. Okay, 30, but it decreased, right? So decreasing by 30% means minus 30. Okay, this is X percent. And what is Y%? It got, the sales got increased by 20%. Got increased means it is plus. So here minus, here plus. So here also what is the percentage change? Minus 30 plus 20. So one of these values is minus, so it will be minus 30 into 20 by 100. So calculate this. Minus 10 minus 6 minus 16% is the percentage change, percentage decrease. Okay, minus in the sense it is decrease. Okay, a person saves every year 20% of his income. If his income increases every year by 10%, then his savings increase every year by. Okay, so let us assume his income to be 100. So these are the savings. So 20%, he saves 20% of the income. So what is 20% of 100? 20% of 100, 20% of 100 is 20. Okay, 20% is 20. But now what happened? If his income increases every year by 100, 10%, so 100 becomes 10% of 100. I mean 100 got increased by 10%, so the income will be 110 now. So as income got increased by 10%, the savings will also be increased by 10%, right? So 10% increase in savings means 22. Okay, now what is the question? This so we must calculate the percentage increase in savings. So initial savings were 20, final saving is 22. So what's the difference? 22 minus 20 is 2 by initial value 20 into 100, which is equal to 10%. 10% increase. See, here you can directly calculate like this. So if it is the income is increased by 10%, savings will also be increased 10%. But how did we arrive? For that I explained this. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. In a library, 40% books are in English, 50% of the remaining are in Hindi. Okay, and 60% of the remaining are in Sanskrit, and the remaining are 7,200 books are of other languages. Okay, find the total number of books in that library. So remaining books, what are remaining books? How many are there? 7,200. Remaining books is equal to, let us assume the total number to be X. Okay, so we solved this method in lots of problems previously. Okay, so remaining books is equal to X into, if 40% books are in English, so remaining, what's the remaining value? 100 minus 40, 60 by 100 into, if 50% of the remaining books are Hindi, then what's the remaining? Remaining of 50 means 50 by 100 into, if 60% of the remaining are in Sanskrit, so 60 means the remaining is 100 minus 60, which is 40 by 100. So calculate X. X will be equal to 7,200 into 100 into 100 into 100 divided by 60 into 50 into 40. Okay, 60 into 50 into 40. What do we get? We get X as 60,000 books. Initially 60,000 books were there. Okay, the total number of books, not initial value, the total number of books are 60,000. Fine. So the traditional method we have a traditional method also, which is, of course it is a cumbersome process. If we calculate through by using traditional method, let us assume the total number of books to be 100%, right? So if 40% of books are in English, so 40%, so if 40% are English, what is the remaining? Remaining is 60%. So out of this 60%, 50% are Hindi. Okay, out of this 60%, 50% are Hindi. So deduct 50% of 60%, which is 30. So the final is 30%. So out of this 30%, 60% are Sanskrit. Okay, 60% are Sanskrit, right? Out of this 30%, 60% are Sanskrit. So what is 60% of 30%? 18% are Sanskrit. So what's the final value? 12%. So if this 12% is equal to 7,200, if 12% is equal to 7,200, what will be 100%? 100% in the sense the total value. What will be the 100%? 100% will be equal to 7,200. Just cross multiply. 7,200 into 100 by 12, which will be equal to 60,000. Okay. So these two values are same, but this calculation is entirely cumbersome. Okay, I am not telling that you cannot calculate. You can calculate, but as far as competitive exams are concerned, don't even calculate like this. So this is a simple way to calculate. Okay, let's move on to the next one. In an organization, 32% of the total employees are management graduates, 11/17 of the remaining employees are engineering graduates, and rest of the 17,788 employees are undergraduates. What is the total number of employees in the organization? Okay, so total number of employees. What is the remaining rest of the employees? That means remaining value is 1788. So let us assume the total number to be x. So this is the same method as we followed till now. Okay, x into if 32% are total employees, 32% are management graduates, then what is the remaining percentage? 100 minus 32, which is 68/100. Okay, into if 11/17 are the engineering graduates, then what is the remaining? If 11/17 are the engineering graduates, the remaining value is 6/17, because 11/17 plus 6/17 is equal to 17/17, which is equal to 1. So remaining value is 6/17 into 6/17. See, why are we taking the remaining values? Because in this side, in one side, we took the remaining value, right? So if we take the remaining value here, we must also take remaining values of the others on the other side. Okay, so calculate x. X will be equal to 7,450. What is this value? 7,450 is the total number of employees in the organization. Okay, out of the 7,450, 32% are the management graduates, and out of the 7,450, 11/17 are the, out of the remaining value, 11/17 are the engineering graduates. Okay, fine. Let's move on to the next one. In an examination, 60% of the candidates passed in Hindi, 70% passed in English, and 25% failed in both. Find the overall pass percentage. Okay, so for this, we have n of A union B. N of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. See, we will discuss about all these formulas in detail in Venn diagrams concept, but this is a basic formula. See, here intersection means the common part. Okay, the common part. Okay, we will apply this. I will explain you how to apply. So in an exam, 60% of the candidates passed in Hindi. So 60% are passed in Hindi. So 60% is the pass percentage plus, so n of A is 60. What is n of B? 70% passed in English. So 70% is n of B. Okay. And 25% failed in both. So if 25% are failed, then how many students passed? 100 minus 25. So this is the remaining value. 75% passed. So here we took 60% as pass percentage. N of B also we took pass percentage. We must also take the common part as the pass percentage, not the failed percentage. Okay. Here 60 is pass percentage of only Hindi, 70 is the pass percentage of English, but 75% is the common part of both Hindi and English. Okay, 60 plus 70 minus 75, which is equal to 55% passed. 55% of the candidates passed in both the exams, okay, both exams. This is the overall pass percentage. Okay. So if we solve this example, then you will be much more clear. Okay, you will understand much more clear, in a clear way. In an exam, 30% and 35% students respectively failed in Hindi, history and geography, while 27% students failed in both the subjects. If the number of students passing the exam is 248, find the total number of students who appeared in the exam. Okay. So the same formula, n of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Okay. So what is n of A here? See, let me tell you one thing. If you are considering everything as pass percent, then write all the values of the pass percentage. I mean, all the values must be in pass percentage. If you are converting all as fail percent, okay, then you must convert all the three values to fail percent. You can follow either this or this, nothing, but don't intermix. Don't take first two as pass percent and third one as the failed percent, or either don't take the first two as failed percent and the third one as pass percent. Every value of the three should be only one, either pass or convert all the three into failed percent. Okay. So n of A is equal to, here we shall take the let us take the failed percentage here. Okay, 30%. N of A is equal to 30 plus n of B. N of B is geography, which is in which 35% failed. So 30 plus 35 minus, what is the, how many are failed in both? I mean, how many are failed in common in both history and geography? 27 students failed in both. So 27. So this is also failed person, this is also failed person, this is also failed percent. Okay, we converted everything in failed percent. Of course, it is given in the question directly. So 30 plus 35 minus 27, which is equal to 38%, right? Okay, this is 38% failed percent. Okay. Now what is the question here? Find the total number of students who appeared in the exam. Okay, and we are given the number of students passing the exam as 248. 248 students passed the exam, but we have failed percent. 38% is failed. Then how much is the percentage of passed? 100 minus 38, which is equal to 62. So if 38 is failed, then to calculate the pass percent, we must just subtract it with 100. 100 minus 38 is 62. So 62% students passed. So 62% is equal to 248. 248 members. Here this is percentage. We are expressing this in numbers. Here it is given, right? The number of students who passed in exam is 248. So 62% is equal to 248. Then how much is 100%? 100% means the total number of students who appeared in the exam. So how much is 100%? 100% is 248 into 100, just cross multiply 100 by 62, which is equal to 400. So 400 are the total number of students who appeared for the exam. Out of this 400, 38% failed and 62% passed. 62% of 400 means 248. Calculate this if you want to understand more. How much is 62% of 400? 62% of 400 will be equal to 248. Okay, but how? Just calculate. 62 by 100 into 400. Cancel these two. 62 into 4. 62 into 4, which is 248. See, you got here, right? Okay, let's move on to the next one. A student has to secure 35% marks to pass. However, he gets 650 marks and fails by 50 marks. The maximum marks are. So the pass mark is 700. How did we arrive? Because he gets 650 marks and fails by 50 marks. So if he had got 50 marks, he would have passed, but he didn't pass because he got only 650. He fails by 50 marks, so the pass mark is 700. The 700 marks are the pass marks, but 35% is the pass percentage. So 35% is pass percentage, 35% is equal to 700 marks. Then what is 100%? 100% means total marks. So just calculate 700, just multiply, cross multiply 700 into 100. Okay, take this value by 35, which is equal to 2000. So 2000 are the maximum marks. That means total marks. Okay, so out of this total marks, out of this 2000, 700 is the pass mark, but he got only 650. Okay, that's why he failed by 50 marks. Okay, let's yeah, so we solve some basic problems, basic models of percentages in the upcoming videos. Okay, in the upcoming sessions we will solve level 1. Okay, level 1, the easier questions, and after we will solve moderate questions, which are level 2 questions, plus previous years CAT questions as far as the topic is concerned. Here it's percentages. Okay, previous years CAT questions. Okay, so I think this session is good. This session is useful for you. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for attending, and all the very best. Thank you. And one more thing, we will be giving you the handouts soon after the class. So kindly solve them. You must solve them. Okay, we pick up different models. We will pick up different models. Okay, so thank you very much.